6 p.m. here in our studios in Douala. We are live with the 6 p.m. news. We begin with the headline. The government of Cameroon presents hostages kidnapped by armed men in the far north region. Rescued and released by forces of law and security, these Cameroonian citizens were handed over to their families in Marwa by the regional governor with other authorities from Cameroon and neighboring country. And about back to school, what is the atmosphere like in our markets across the country? Barely a few weeks to school resumption, we will take you to the markets to have the temperature of back to school effervescent with other stories. Stay with us, we'll be right back for the full newscast right ahead. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of the 6 p.m. news, this 25th day of August 2025. My name is Mange Venasius. We begin the news, like we heard in one of our lead stories, with less than 2 weeks to back to school for the 2025-2026 academic year. Bookshops and street vendors in Bafoussam, that is in the West region, have their counters stocked with school supplies. However, parents are yet to go for these school materials. Rugiatu Buba takes us to Marché A, that is in Bafoussam, to take stock of the atmosphere in the market in this report.
As the 2025-2026 academic year approaches, the vibrant stores of school supplies have made a striking return to Boulevard du Marché A in Bafoussam. This annual resurgence is a clear indicator that back to school is just around the corner. With less than 2 weeks to class resumption, the atmosphere is charged with anticipation. Bookshops in the area have already stocked their shelves, eagerly awaiting the influx of customers. I think all textbooks are available. Last year, we had difficulties having Form 4 ICT textbooks, but this year, we have all of them. Exercise books, bags, pens are all available. I am quite prepared to sell during this back-to-school period. In a day, 2 or 3 clients come, but we are optimistic that we will sell. Street vendors, often referred to as poto, have also set up their stalls offering a variety of second-hand school supplies. While the expected crowd is yet to arrive, these vendors say the affluence in the market is not felt. With the upcoming elections, parents are scared, but what hits hard is the absence of money. We are here, waiting for them. When we greet them, they refuse to answer. They are angry when they see textbooks. Organization is key during this busy time. Many families rely on savings and carefully manage their budgets to prioritize essential supplies. Parents like Bonar Chame emphasize the importance of planning, especially as the first day of school approaches. I started preparing back to school ever since the report cards of my children were given to them in June. It is difficult, but being a parent, we have the duty to do that. With just hours left until September 8th, the excitement is building and parents are preparing for the inevitable rush. As the countdown continues, it's clear that the atmosphere will soon shift from calm to a buzzing environment.
And we continue in the same line, talking about back to school. Over 500 students in several subdivisions in the littoral region benefited from back-to-school kits thanks to Barrister Edimo Nana Ferdinand, one of Cameroon's esteemed sons, who serves as a regional councillor in the littoral region. With the initiative that comes as the new academic year 2025-2026 is about to begin, Vanessa Chung tells us that this is to ensure that students are well prepared before classes begin. Her report.
As with every back-to-school season, international lawyer and Littoral Regional Councillor Barrister Edimo Nana Ferdinand upheld the tradition of his happy back-to-school caravan. For the founder of the Children in Solidarity Association, The initiative is about celebrating academic effort and success.
As you well know, this is my first outing as a divisional officer for Lonaco, and I feel very honored that it has to be an action of solidarity. I laud the idea of Mr. Edimo, who has done this back to school activity, and we all know that we have parents here who have difficulty of sending their children back to school.
Despite being in mourning following the death of his brother, marked by a minute of silence at each stop in his memory, Barrister Edimo remains a shining example for the educational community in the Mongo division.
I also call on all the individuals, our associations and institutions to follow suit with the same idea, because it's going to go a long way to assist the parents and the children.
School bags, pens, notebooks, and many more were received by the students who warmly thanked the donor.
Pour m'aider de réussir, d'être discipliné et respectueuse.
En ces début d'année, nous prions qu'il fasse davantage pour nous. Merci.
The happy back-to-school caravan covered the subdivisions of Lum, Manjo, Lonaco, Kongsamba, Barebakem, and Melong, with a total of 500 beneficiaries.
And to talk about back to school, we leave that and we talk the issues relating to the release of hostages. Like we told you in one of our lead stories, we go over to the far north region. Tired and traumatized, these children freed from captivity in Zigage, Logon and Shari division arrived this Monday at the governor's office in the far north region. They were officially presented during a ceremony chaired by the governor of the far north region, in the presence of the Consul General of Chad in Garua, alongside administrative, traditional, religious and local authorities, as well as some parents. As a mark of solidarity, each released hostage received financial support of over 500,000 francs CFA from the head of state, President Paul Biya, with an additional 1 million francs CFA granted to cover the funeral of one victim who did not survive. The children are now undergoing medical examinations at the Marua Regional Hospital, from where they would be reunited with their families. We'll bring you update as that story continues to unfold. We take you this time to the area of politics. With less than 2 months to the polls, the issue of vote transparency is a major concern. Political parties face a significant logistical challenge in monitoring the over 30,000 polling stations across Cameroon. How can they ensure the presence of a representative at each polling station is the worry Rugiatu Buba has in this report.
Following the recent announcement of 96,000 polling station agents by election day, with over 40,000 already identified and trained by the Social Democratic Front Party in a 3-minute video on social media, this commitment underscores the importance of having party representatives at polling stations to ensure transparency and fairness in the electoral process. Section 54 of the country's electoral code entitles every polling station to have a local polling commission comprising of a personality appointed by the head of the divisional branch of Elections Cameroon, a representative of the administration appointed by the SDO, and a representative of each candidate, list of candidates or a political party, prompting democratic engagement and accountability. The code specifies a number of representatives allowed at each station, their roles and procedures for their appointment. These representatives will act as watchdogs, monitor the voting in order to prevent electoral fraud and uphold voter rights. Their presence allows parties to observe election conduct, verify vote counts and address any irregularities, instilling confidence among supporters and deterring potential misconduct by electoral officials. The SDF's approach, highlighted by Chairman Joshua Osi's efforts to relocate over 1,100 polling stations from military barracks to public spaces further emphasizes their commitment to election integrity. However, with approximately 30,000 polling stations across the country and each party is allowed to 3 representatives per district, comprehensive monitoring remains a challenge. As the election day approaches, the presence of trained representatives from various parties will be vital in ensuring a transparent, credible and democratic electoral experience for all voters.
We continue talking of politics, where candidates of various political parties have been noted to be constantly defying the electoral calendar, staging rallies and mobilizing supporters in what observers describe as a de facto campaign, long before what the law stipulates. The campaign is expected to be launched from the 27th of September, that is 15 days preceding elections, and to end on the eve of the polls, as we hear in this report with Vanessa Shuyong.
The October 2025 presidential election is heating up as candidates intensify their efforts to woo voters through rallies, billboards, and catchy slogans. Across the country, debate and speculation abound even before the official campaign period has been declared open. According to the Electoral Code, Section 72 authorizes the holding of electoral meetings without prior authorization, while Section 73 allows the administration to prohibit such gatherings if they are deemed a threat to public law and order. Despite this, officials have been traveling to their home constituencies to bolster the electoral prospects of their parties. We observed rallies in the Adamawa, North, Northwest, and Southwest regions organized by various party candidates. In the North region, the FSNC of Isa Shiroma Bakari held a major meeting. The streets of Garwa overflowed with excitement as thousands turned out chanting "President" to welcome the presidential hopeful who had just returned from Yaoundé. In the Benue division, the ruling CPDM party launched its offensive under the leadership of Gabriel Bairobe, head of the party's permanent divisional delegation. He gathered his team to devise strategies for ensuring a clear and decisive victory for Paul Biya, the CPDM candidate. Bairobe also initiated a door-to-door campaign reminding voters that 2 other sons from Benue are also in the race to the presidency. Meanwhile, Liberal Alliance Party aspirant Ateki Seta Caxton toured Bamenda and later Boya in his bid to unseat 92-year-old Paul Biya, who has ruled Cameroon for 43 years. In another show of strength, thousands of supporters of the National Union for Democracy and Progress (UNDP) gathered in Gaoundé on Friday to cheer a party leader and former Prime Minister Bello Buba Magari as he launched his campaign. Footage showed crowds swarming around Magari and other party officials clad in UNDP attire and waving banners in support of their leader. Yet, all this activity raises questions about timing. Section 87 sub 1 of the Electoral Code clearly stipulates that the official campaign period begins only on the 15th day preceding the election and ends at midnight on the eve of the poll. Subsection 2 further provides that candidates may prepare circulars, manifestos or posters at their own expense or that of their sponsoring party, but must not begin their electoral campaigns before the official opening. With rallies already underway across the country, it seems the campaign has de facto begun well before the law says it should.
And that will be campaign before campaigning, while the Constitutional Council is aware, while LECAM is aware. We are expecting that the text governing the elections should be respected. But we bring to you some other images of a similar situation. This time in Turua, the atmosphere was electric, and where thousands of militants gathered under the banner "Political Unity for Sustainable Development." The rally marked a decisive turning point in local politics, with members from other parties officially joining the ruling CPDM party, as Ashley Johnson tells us in this report.
It was a historic day in Turuwa. CPDM's Benue Southwest section held a massive rally focused on unity and development. Representatives from parties such as the UNDP, RNDP and FSNC crossed over to the CPDM, praising what they described as tangible progress made in the area in recent years. Under the leadership of Mamadou Sanda, Mayor of Turuwa and President of the CPDM Benue Southwest section, Turuwa has witnessed major improvements, modernized schools, strengthened health services, and constant support for youth initiatives. We've resigned from the political party FSNC to join CPDM. We were militants of the former for many years, but we saw no realizations, promises made but not kept, vain speeches. We had hopes they will be realized, but we saw that it's the CPDM that has realized many projects for the population. And since we said that we are fighting for the people, it is very important to rally behind a party that supports the people. The youth's testimony echoes a wider sentiment of confidence, especially among young people who see the CPDM as a party of action rather than words. Today, those who repair our youth and those who scatter our youth, at first they did not understand us, they were scattered and deceived. So today these youths have understood, observed and seen our realizations, the promise we made and kept. That is why they've decided to join us. Today as president, I'm very satisfied. I've done my job. My mission has been accomplished. As the presidential election of October 12 approaches, the people of Turuwa say they are determined to rally behind the CPDM candidate, President Paul Biya. Here in Turuwa, the future is being built on unity and continuity.
And from politics, we talk local development and solidarity. We take you to Bafut in the northwest region of Cameroon, where the elites of that locality have come together with an assistance for pregnant women. This is to help fight maternal mortality in Bafut subdivision. This is an initiative led by Honorable Gordon Anyele and other sons and daughters of Bafut locality. We have details in this report. In a crisis locality like Bafut in the northwest region, being pregnant is a period of stress and untold suffering for a woman, many of whom now give birth at home. A period in which life becomes threatened, compounded by limited access to health care, insecurity, poverty and malnutrition, all promoting high maternal and infant mortality rates.
When women deal with belly, no man knows what will happen during that pregnancy. The woman is life day at risk. Taking a life day at risk. And because of this, when woman they go for born, for born begin a good thing now. Yes. It not make sense. Say when woman go for born begin for bring another life, the woman they end up losing her own life.
Aware of this, elites of that locality, under the leadership of Honorable Gordon Chebelem Anyele, came up with Operation Zero Maternal Mortality initiative in Bafut subdivision, with the aim to provide free maternal health care services to pregnant women through the free health vouchers offered to them. In a ceremony last August 22nd, over 200 vouchers were made available for any pregnant woman in the subdivision.
Mobility is a problem, it's a challenge. Poverty is another challenge. But for the elite now, coordinated by Regional Gordon, who thought it wise that if government can help the people at this land, what are we elite doing? He came up with this project.
The first phase of the project, with 200 vouchers, is aimed at covering antenatal visits, safe delivery, cesarean operations, including post-maternal period of 42 days. A gift these women received with gratitude.
It's free. Delivery is free. So with this, at least you help a lot. Transport, sometimes they need to be there for canteen, but anyway they help you buy with these things. You be able to buy things. Hopefully well after the so we thank them very much.
In the presence of health officials, Like the regional delegate of public health for the Northwest region, he stressed on the importance of these vouchers, stipulating that more is yet to come.
To make sure say, you know, times they had no, at least make mommy they know they spend money for sick, when they take that money to do other things than for picking them. We don't start with some facilities then, but you know say we will increase many more facilities then so that if we get many more women then for Bafu where they will benefit from this intervention.
And I forget more than 300 vouchers. So that when woman be pregnant, if he go for hospital, he go take he own that voucher for 0 francs. So that may they follow a pregnancy come to completion.
This initiative highlights the importance of local community spirit, with the vision bearer, Honorable Gordon Chebelem Anyele, inviting other sons and daughters of Bafut to subscribe to the initiative so as to save the lives of their mothers, wives, and sisters. And from Bafut, we talk culture. Quality and standards are at the heart of Africa's growth. In Douala, that was yesterday, Sunday, author Nene Aberash presented her new book, La Cali Stratégie, a guide aimed at helping entrepreneurs embrace regulations and boost competitiveness across Cameroon and the continent. Let's have more of that report with Ashley Johnson.
In a context where quality and standards play a central role in Africa's development, strategy remains a decisive factor that investors and entrepreneurs, particularly in Cameroon, must rigorously adopt in order to succeed in the marketplace. On Sunday, 24th August in Douala, the core themes of the book La Cali Stratégie by Nene Aberash were presented during a book signing ceremony marked by the presence of several experts brought together for a panel discussion.
La Cali Stratégie, c'est 2 mots, c'est qualité et c'est stratégie.
La Cali Stratégie rests on 2 words, quality and strategy. For businesses to be truly competitive in the market, they must put strategies in place, whether commercial strategies, distribution strategies, but above all, they should also have a quality strategy. And that quality strategy is about compliance with standards. Without compliance with these standards, companies cannot even appear on supermarket shelves, let alone conquer international markets. Compliance with regulations and standards, both local and international, still represents a major obstacle for many African business operators.
Aujourd'hui, nos produits camerounais, nos produits africains.
Today, our Cameroonian and African products face many difficulties. They are often unattractive and consumers lack confidence in them. Foreign buyers do not trust our products. Even we ourselves sometimes do not trust them. Why is this so? Simply because in reality, they are not properly verified and they fail to comply with the required standards. La Cali Stratégie, the result of in-depth research, stands as an agenda, a point of reference and a compass intended to guide entrepreneurs seeking to better understand the standards specific to their sector of activity.
Nous avons donc décidé de l'accompagner sur toute l'étendue du territoire national.
We therefore decided to support this initiative across the entire national territory, beginning with the launch of this book. It is a manual designed to provide entrepreneurs at the primary level with basic tools to take ownership of standards, and at the secondary level, it will help industrialists to become increasingly well-informed because no one holds the monopoly on knowledge. With La Cali Stratégie, Nene Aberash offers African entrepreneurs a practical tool to better grasp and apply standards. The book is an invitation to place quality and regulation at the very heart of business, with the aim of strengthening the competitiveness of Cameroonian and African companies on the international stage.
From that, we talk sports. Cameroon referee Alium Sidi has been appointed president of CAF's refereeing committee, a new role that crowns his distinguished international career and entrusts him with developing officials across the continent in the field of sports. Let's have our sports lady Rachel Tifongang with this report.
Cameroonian referee Alium Sidi has been appointed president of the Confederation of African Football's Refereeing Committee, a role that crowns a distinguished international career. The announcement came as the veteran official reached retirement, opening a new chapter in which he will oversee the development of refereeing improve training standards and promote excellence across the continent. CD, recognized in 2019 as the world's 17th best referee, has long been regarded as one of Africa's leading officials. Accredited by FIFA since 2008, he has officiated in multiple World Cups and 9 editions of the African Cup of Nations, including the 2019 final where his performance was hailed as exemplary. Over the years, he has built a reputation for professionalism and consistency, contributed to some of the most memorable matches in African and world football. His new responsibilities at CAF has seen as both a reward for his remarkable career and a chance to pass on his experience to the next generation. For Cameroon, his appointment is also a source of pride, reaffirming the country's prominent place in world of football refereeing.
Back home, we take you to Bangem, that is in the southwest region of Cameroon, at the Paul Biya Stadium, where the community celebrated the return of peace through sport as the second edition of the ACAS Interclub Football Competition concluded with Twin Lakes FC defeating Sunday Sharp Momome FC in a thrilling penalty shootout. Let's have details. Ketsi Rashen Difongang once more.
An unusual atmosphere filled the legendary Paul Biya Stadium in Bangem on Saturday, August 23, 2025. At the heart of this excitement was the final of the second edition of the ACAS Interclub Football Competition, a match that pitted Twin Lakes FC against Sunday Sharp Momome FC. Following a parade through the streets of the chief town of Kupe Manunguba, the kickoff was given by Ngia Benya Theophile, the senior divisional officer, set the tune for this football encounter. The competition, initiated by Eka couple 2 years ago, aims to promote football and celebrate the gradual return of peace following the so-called Anglophone crisis.
This is the second edition of this competition. You know, I organized this competition after the wars. That was to bring stability to the place and to make people forget the enormities of what the war cost us. The few years that many children had died because of this Ambazonia war. So now we are getting stable and it is good. I'm happy for this second edition of the Cup.
A particular emotion reflected the satisfaction of the people of Bangem as expressed by the local elected official.
I am very, very deeply appreciative to the donor of the cup, whom I know is very highly encouraged by his beautiful wife for what they have done today. It is very evident. Everybody can see that the field is free, is full. This one shows how happy the people of Bangem have been to welcome this particular tournament.
Beyond football, school textbooks were distributed to students in preparation for the 2025-2026 school year.
Back to school package. It contains books, fans, school bag, and didactic materials.
Artistic performances were also part of the festivities, making the event more vibrant. This local football final had the atmosphere of an international competition, lasting 120 minutes, including extra time, before moving to the decisive penalty shootout phase. Twin Lakes emerged victorious with 5-2 against Sunday Sharp Momome FC. Medals were awarded to the finalists as a form of encouragement, and the trophy presentation to the winner marked the conclusion of the second edition, opening preparation for the third edition.
And every hope will be that football should do the needed magic in bringing back peace once and for all in this crisis-hit regions of the northwest and southwest regions. This is with that report that we come to the end of what the news we had for you this evening. We'll be back again tomorrow when it will be 6 p.m. But before then, another edition of the news will be coming up at exactly 7:45 p.m. That will be in the French language with Ludovic Malagal. Keep watching programs here on DBS Television. Goodbye from all of us here.